Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Ever since the news of Warzone 2 surfaced, there's been a lot of questions about the future of Warzone 1, the Warzone that we're playing right now. And the more that we hear about Warzone 2, the more uncertain the future of Warzone as we know it now is. Today I want to break down what could potentially be some very strange and also bad news for Warzone as we know it, and basically what that means for the future of the game. As we break it all down, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Really does help grow the channel. And of course, if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with everything going on in COD. News, updates, loadouts, tips, you're going to find it all right here. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. Also, if you haven't got yourself a pair of Gamer Advantage glasses yet, you guys always see me wearing these in the face cam videos. They are on from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to bed. If I'm looking at screens all day, I'm working on videos, playing games, whatever the case may be, these things are game changers. They offer a variety of frame options and they also offer prescription or regular lenses. So if you ever want to get a pair, code WHosImmortal gets you a nice little discount and the link for that will be down below. Warzone 2. We've heard a little bit about this up until this point. At first, we had various leaks and rumors coming from Bloomberg, coming from Tom Henderson about this new iteration of Warzone. And then when myself and a handful of other creators actually got to talk to some of the Infinity Ward and Raven developers, they technically revealed that yes, a new Warzone game is coming. We still don't know if it's going to be called Warzone 2 or maybe just Warzone. Could be Warzone Advanced. Who knows? There's no technical official name for it that we know yet. But what we've been told is that essentially Warzone 2 is the next step for Warzone. This is a whole new Warzone game, a whole new world essentially. And in that case, the way that we're looking at Warzone 2 is the same way that we look at going from Modern Warfare to Cold War, from Cold War to Vanguard, from Vanguard to MW2, or even Modern Warfare to Modern Warfare 2. Wait a second. Modern Warfare to War. Okay, you hopefully got what I said there. It sounded weird when I said it the first time, but it is essentially a brand new separate entity in and of itself. Obviously, though, sharing a similar name because it is tied to the original with its core, gameplay experience, right? Now, it doesn't take an expert to sit there and say, oh, obviously, Warzone 2, whenever that drops, whether that be towards the end of this year alongside MW2 or potentially even early in 2023, since we have no premium COD game dropping that year, whenever it does drop, it is going to be the front and center priority, just like Warzone has been ever since it released back in March of 2020. Yeah, we've seen Cold War drop, we've seen Vanguard drop, but because of just how successful Warzone has been, it's still maintained its presence as the #1 priority for Call of Duty and for Activision. But when Warzone 2 drops, that's going to take its place. It's going to be the most up-to-date and fresh product. So obviously, they're going to want to market that the most. They're going to want to support that the most and make it the top experience that they can in order to, reestablish that player base that potentially Warzone 1 brought to Call of Duty. Obviously, it blew up because of everything going on and became arguably the biggest game in the world. And since then has sort of dwindled off in hype just because of the state of the game, how things have changed around us, obviously, as well. But there's no denying that Warzone 2 is going to be a giant priority for Activision and for Call of Duty. And because of that, I have seen countless comments on the videos, tweets over on Twitter, messages in the Discord, wherever it might be. Zach, what's going to happen to Warzone 1? Does anything that we're even doing right now even matter? Should I be investing in battle passes to unlock content? Should I be spending hours upon hours upon hours to rank up these guns? Should I be buying store bundles? Really, the question is, we don't know for sure. However, we do have a good amount of information from some insider sources that could hopefully help ease some of that concern. So this info is coming from Tom Henderson. If you don't know his name by now, you should get used to it because he's pretty much the go-to insider source for various leaks and for various rumors regarding Call of Duty and a lot of other games as well, for what it's worth. But he's been very accurate up until this point with his Call of Duty information, and so he's built a very credible and established track record, right? And when the first news of Warzone 2 started to surface, he basically broke down how it's been explained to him and what he's heard about it in terms of how it's going to differentiate itself from Warzone 1. You'd have the two separate games, and Warzone 2 would be this clean slate, this fresh start, and like we talked about earlier, it would not tie directly to Warzone. It is a restart, a refresh in and of itself. Whereas Warzone 1 would still maintain all the content it currently has. It's still going to be available everywhere it's currently available. However, all the assets of Warzone 1 might not carry over to Warzone 2. So you look at that and say, well, I've bought, this operator skin, this blueprint, and I want to use this emblem and this charm. But then Warzone 2 drops and you start fresh in that game and none of that stuff carries over. There's no guarantee, at least according to Tom Henderson, that all of our stuff from Warzone 1 is going to be coming over to Warzone 2. In the same way that in Modern Warfare 2019, you're going to jump to Modern Warfare 2 and it's a new game. You got to restart on your levels. You got to re-unlock weapons and level them up. Same way we jumped from MW 2019 to Cold War to Vanguard. And obviously our content does not carry over. So that is a concern, and honestly that is a bummer if that's the case, because people do spend a ton of money on this game buying blueprints, store bundles, battle passes. People spend hours leveling up their guns and unlocking camos and everything, and for all that to be wiped for Warzone 2 would be unfortunate, but at the same time, it is a new game. There will be new things to grind and unlock. Now, part 2 of the concern here, I would say, is, well, we just did all this, and then they're going to abandon Warzone 1 for Warzone 2. And according to Tom Henderson, that is not the case. He says that WARZONE Legacy, that's what he refers to Warzone as we're playing it right now, is it'll still be supported at least somewhat into the life of Warzone 2, which should be good news, because that means that all this effort, all this work, all this grinding and buying stuff would not be for nothing. It would not be completely abandoned and thrown out the window once Warzone 2 arrives. Now, do I expect Warzone 1 to receive all the same content and focus and attention as Warzone 2 does when it drops? Absolutely not. Warzone 2 is almost certainly going to be the favorite child, right? Warzone 1 will still be there, and obviously it's still going to get fed. You're still going to buy it presents for Christmas and everything, but it's not going to be the favorite child. Like I said, Warzone 2 will be front and center. Warzone 1 will be on the back burner and sort of take second place to that. But it won't be abandoned according to what Tom is hearing right now. So that is somewhat good news, but still you got to be a realist here and say, all right, how long though is it going to be supported? Because there's no denying at some point, just like how MW 2019 is not seeing major content drops anymore, Warzone 1, a year into Warzone 2 probably is not going to receive a ton of attention and a ton of new changes, just because that's not their main focus. Now, that could change. Say that Warzone 2 drops, but still there's a massive player base on Warzone 1 for whatever reason, then yeah, they might support it a little longer, but ultimately Warzone 2 is where they want to shift players. That's where they want to bring the attention to. So prepare for that. Now, all that said, something I really hope they take into consideration is some sort of, reward for OG Warzone players. The ability to maybe take over your mastery camos into Warzone 2. Perhaps you get some other legacy content that if you achieved this mastery camo in Warzone 1, you'll get this camo in Warzone 2. You'll get this operator skin. If you achieved 200 wins in Warzone 1, you'll get this blueprint in Warzone 2. You'll get this calling card, this emblem, whatever else. I truly hope that they do connect the games in some way, shape, or form so that it's not a completely fresh restart, because I do think that'll leave a bad taste in at least some players' mouths. There's no denying that. I feel like that's a very easy statement to back and support, just because of the sort of perception that Warzone 2 is already getting based off the rumors so far, right? So there is a lot that obviously is going to surface in the coming months as we approach the Warzone 2 launch, and I'm sure they'll clarify a lot of stuff that we've talked about here today. But as of now, I am seeing a ton of different questions and comments about what's going to happen to Warzone 1 and all your content and stuff you have there. That is effectively what we know about it as of now. Some all right news of the fact that Warzone 1 should still be supported into Warzone 2. Some not so great news that it's looking like it will be a completely fresh restart, depending on how much you value your content in Warzone 1. But that said, that is going to wrap things up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on it. Really does help grow the channel. And if you're new here, or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD. News, updates, loadouts, tips, you'll find it all right here. So feel free to sub and click that bell icon. That way you'll always know whenever I post a new video. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code WHosImmortal for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. The links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.